Hello and welcome to Smart Lagos. On this week's episode, we spotlight key government initiatives shaping governance, infrastructure and social development across the state. From new power deals aimed at boosting electricity supply to renewed efforts at strengthening executive legislative collaboration and improved revenue performance driving growth. We'll also highlight social support programs for vulnerable groups alongside renewed monitoring of the monthly environmental sanitation exercise to promote a cleaner and healthier Lagos. Thank you for joining us. I am Joy Ken Abakboya.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. The Lagos state government has signed a power purchase agreement with 3 electricity generation companies to boost power supply across the state. The agreement, witnessed by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, marks a major step towards strengthening electricity delivery to critical infrastructures and communities. Let's see it. The agreements cover new and renewed partnerships with private operators, including Nta Ch Power, Mainland Power, and Viatan Engineering, all aimed at improving electricity supply to key government facilities and surrounding communities.
And there are a lot of things that Lagos State does that it keeps setting the mark.
Nobody has a monopoly of service, so we appreciate the people that give us the opportunity to serve. I want to appreciate Mr. Governor for this opportunity to partner with the state government in providing sustainable energy to Lagos State.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the contracts reflect a shift to a more efficient and market-driven power sector with plans to scale generation from under 60 megawatts to about 400 megawatts in the coming years.
I believe that they are also even the ones that are stepping in boldly. And I think their pedigree and the energy they're bringing in, since they're supplying energy, they have to also bring a lot of energy in. It shows that we're making the right choice. And to Viatan and Set Power, we've walked this path before. We know that we've had times when we had boxed ourselves, we had disagreements, we had very frank, tough conversation. But at the end of the day, that's what business is about. It's about ensuring that we all can enter the room, talk to ourselves frankly, and come out, knowing fully well we've done the job. So it's about doing the job that we have also done here now. Let's keep to whatever promises we've made on both sides. I will tell you that sometimes government are the very difficult one to keep to their own side, but we understand the sanctity of contract. We understand the commitment that comes with it. We understand the professionalism that needs to come with when we say we'll do what we'll do. But we also do not want our partners to take us for granted. We should not use either the fact that you think government is sleepy or they are not half as competent as you think they are, and you want to do other things, because it will catch up. It will catch up because you get it right today, you get someday somebody will roll back and say, no, you have not done it the right way. So what am I saying? Let all of us bring up our A team. Let's be extremely very professional. Let's do the things that we have said we will do. And once the people benefit, then it makes life a lot easier for all of us.
The Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Biodun Ogunleye, says the agreements have been restructured to cut costs, improve reliability, and ensure critical facilities have dual power sources.
This project exemplifies Lagos' proactive approach to decentralize power delivery, bringing energy closer to demand and safeguarding critical services. The regulators are waiting to have the application and business plans for the expansion envisaged by the partners, and we are also hopeful, and given the promises made by the discourse, that we are not going to have any challenges expanding this asset.
Under the arrangement, Mainland Power will continue serving Ikeja and surrounding areas. The Akute plant will power major waterworks, while Viatan projects will supply government house and key health institutions on Lagos Island.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has renewed calls for inclusive governance and stronger cooperation across all arms of government. The governor made the call at the 19th Executive and Legislative Conference, where top government functionaries gathered to review progress and chart a way forward. Efforts to strengthen inclusive governance and deepen cooperation between the executive and legislative arms took center stage in Lagos as political leaders and policymakers converged on this strategic conference aimed at enhancing service delivery and democratic engagement across the state.
Power becomes meaningful when shared. That separation of powers must never become separation of purpose. What benefits people is not separation of power per se, but interdependence of three arms of government.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu emphasized the need for collective responsibility in governance, noting that meaningful development can only be achieved through sustained collaboration and active citizen participation.
And so we're truly happy and we're proud of what we have become in Lagos, of how we have seen purposeful leadership and governance in the last 26, 27 years.
Chairman of the Lagos State Governors Advisory Council, Tajuddin Ulusi, underscored the importance of competence and capacity in public office, calling for higher standards in leadership recruitment and performance.
You must be able to present your views and must be views that are worthy of note.
As we celebrate this achievement, it's imperative that we look ahead with renewed vigor and stronger collaboration between the executive and the legislative arms.
The challenges we face today require deliberate collaboration, sustained dialogue, and a unified approach to policy formulation and implementation.
The conference is expected to generate practical recommendations to strengthen executive-legislative relations and promote inclusive, responsive governance in Lagos State. Deliberations at the three-day parley ended with the presentation of a communique by Professor Adewale Aderemi outlining key resolutions reached by participants. Top among them is the call for the review of the Land Use Act, which stakeholders say continues to hinder access to land and delay critical infrastructure projects.
We need to ensure structured engagement between the state government and party structures to bring about inclusion and grassroots participatory decision-making and shared growth.
The conference also endorsed plans by the Lagos State government to establish a state-owned airline, urging swift implementation to improve connectivity, boost commerce, and position Lagos as the regional hub.
The state government should expedite action on the proposed establishment of a Lagos airline to enhance economic prosperity of the state.
The Special Advisor on Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement, Tajuddin Afolabi, expressed optimism that the resolutions will lead to more effective governance and sustainable development across the state.
And I want to appreciate the GAC members that are here. You've been so wonderful. You've been so wonderful. And I cannot say anything other than to say I remove my cap and say thank you, thank you, thank you for all that you have been doing. Not for me, not for my ministry, but all that I've been doing in Lagos State.
The conference ended with a renewed call for stronger collaboration, transparency, and sustained commitment to policies that would improve residents' welfare and support the state's development agenda.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. In this next report, the 159th meeting of the Joint Revenue Board held in Lagos and was hosted by the Lagos State Board of Internal Revenue. Let's see how it went. The Joint Revenue Board meeting tagged from fragmentation to coherence, advancing subnational tax administration through harmonization, brought together the leadership of the Nigerian Revenue Service and the 36 state internal revenue services Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said internally generated revenue now accounts for over 60% of Lagos State's annual budget, noting that the achievement reflects the impact of strategic reforms, including technology-driven tax processes and improved compliance across sectors. He added that Lagos has aligned with the new national tax framework and is ready to share its experiences with other states to strengthen revenue generation nationwide.
We want to put on record that the replacement of the old Joint Tax Board with a better resource, a better coordinated body, backed by the full weight of the 2025 Tax Reform Act, is exactly the kind of structural overhaul Nigeria needs, which has been lacking for decades. A board mandated to harmonize revenue administration across all tiers of government, to resolve intergovernmental fiscal disputes, and to give taxes a credible ombudsman to turn to. These are no small achievements. In our view, they represent a genuine shift in how this country thinks about public finance. And so, on your behalf, I think it's proper that we commend the visionary leadership of our President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, this year, for taking the bold steps. And of course, in doing that, to commend the leadership and members of the National Assembly on all of these reforms. We also want to commend your chairman and each and every one of you in your individual space for the energy and the conviction with which you're all bringing to life. Lagos, of course, has a stake in getting this right. Like the Executive Secretary said, in 2024, very modestly, we generated just a paltry 1.3 trillion in IGR, very little, very paltry, which represent about a 45% jump in our previous year. We dare say that our internally generated revenues now fund well over 60% of our budget. And we say that it hasn't just happened by sheer luck. It is a result of years of investment in digital tax systems. We've pushed to expand our tax net, and we're building trust with our various taxpayers. I agreed and accepted, to be your cheerleader and to be able to tell my colleagues how important the roles and responsibility that each and every one of you plays in your various states. We're fully aligned with the new national framework, and we're ready to share whatever we've learned with our sister states. But we're also ready to undertake mutually beneficial insights between the board and the Lagos State, which we believe will strengthen our tax administration.
Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the event, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu highlighted progress in the state's transport sector, announcing that the Red Line rail project at full capacity will move up to 500,000 passengers daily.
If you remember, sometime last year, we received additional rolling stock on the Blue Line, and we did mention that similar things going to happen on the Red Line. The beauty of the Red Line is it's twice as big than the Blue Line. Whilst the Blue Line has 4 cars, the Red Lines are going to be having 8 cars, meaning they can, on a daily basis, at full capacity, they can actually be carrying up to 500,000 people on the Red Line rail corridor, which is a Butemeta, all the way to Agbado.
The governor also revealed that discussions are underway to extend the rail line into Ogun State to accommodate more commuters.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu, has intensified efforts to strengthen social support systems for vulnerable children with the distribution of relief materials worth 60 million naira to orphanage homes across Lagos. The intervention carried out by the Committee of Wives of Lagos State officials underscores a growing commitment to sustain welfare support as the initiative enters its 6th week. Household appliances, power solutions, food supplies, and other essential welfare materials were distributed to 11 orphanage homes across Ikorodu, Badagry, Ikeja, Lagos Island, and Ekpe divisions in a bid to improve living conditions and enhance the well-being of vulnerable children in Lagos State. Wife of the governor, Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu, said the selection of the beneficiary homes followed a rigorous and transparent process conducted by a 33-member committee. She described the initiative as a demonstration of compassion in action, stressing that governance must go beyond policies to directly impact lives, especially the most vulnerable.
We are presenting items worth 60 million. In total, we have spent a total of 162 million plus on orphanages through the Committee of Wives of Lagos State officials. This remarkable growth is a testament to what can be achieved when compassion is matched with commitment and when good intentions are backed by deliberate action. So they don't just go and buy things like foodstuffs and the items like that. They actually do a survey. They come to the different orphanages. First, they need to confirm whether it is properly registered with Lagos State government, or it's in the process of being registered, or it's having bottlenecks with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. And from there, they either intervene by helping them to link up with the officers in the Ministry of Youth and Social Development. They check the place out, do the assessment, ask the questions, and in order of priority, decide which one should be given more attention. The team developed structured outlines, conducted through assessments, like I said, carefully reviewed feedbacks from various homes. The process was rigorous, objective, and guided by clearly defined criteria.
For beneficiaries, the donated items will ease the burden of caregiving and significantly improve the comfort and well-being of the children.
In particular, we've received solar, which will help the children at night to do their homework. Definitely, if they can do their homework on a regular basis, definitely they will exceed in school.
This time around, they gave us a solar panel inverter to power the whole house. Then our kitchen is being refurbished for us. Then some of our rooms are being taken care of. Some ceilings that are broken, they did it so very well for us.
It's going to go a long way, especially when pumping water for the patient. It's not been easy. The fuel of the thing is not been easy. So it's going to really go a long way.
The intervention under the Committee of Wives of Lagos State Officials, Council, reinforces the importance of collective responsibility in caring for society's most vulnerable.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. And finally, Lagos State's monthly environmental sanitation exercise is back fully, with residents stepping out early to take part in a coordinated cleanup across parts of the state. Wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu, and the head of service, Bode Aguru, led state officials on the monitoring tour. It's the first in the series of the reintroduced monthly environmental sanitation exercise, and across Lagos, compliance level was impressive. Movement was minimal as commercial activities paused, allowing residents to focus on cleaning their surroundings. From Obalende to Agege, the turnout reflected growing acceptance and a shared commitment to a cleaner and safer environment.
It's a minimum requirement for a good life, and we will continue to sanitize our people, to continuously remind them of the need for a clean environment.
It's a great initiative, by the state government, and it's for us to all stay within our homes from 6:30 to 8:30 and clean our environments and make sure that we have a cleaner Lagos and our community as a whole.
At Obalende, the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Bijoke Sanwo-Olu, described the exercise as a strong start, praising community participation and inclusion of students as a step toward building lifelong environmental responsibility.
We have seen the residents come out. We have seen them participate. It's like a gradual process. So people are aware of the sanitation that we do on a monthly basis, the last Saturday of every month, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. People adhere to the instructions. The vendors did not put their things out there. People were not working during the time. Only those that were cleaning the environment were seen doing it. So for me, the assessment is good. For a first timer, I think I'm impressed with it.
So what's your advice for Lagosians going forward?
My advice for Lagosians going forward is clean your environment every day. You don't have to wait till we do sanitation. And if you have noticed, we had to bring the students out. So we had students, leadership by example, catch them young, and that's why we brought students in.
Commending the level of compliance, the Commissioner for the Environment, Tokunbo Wahab, said plans are underway to reward the cleanest local government and deepen community ownership.
So the level of compliance from what the figures we are getting is over 98%. Commercial vehicles off, and people complied. They want to keep Lagos clean. They want to see Lagos clean and sane. So we thank Lagosians, we thank the governor, the deputy governor, the two first ladies that are here with us. We thank the local government chairmen for the wonderful support, because they took the message to the grassroots. And I'm glad you all saw the level of compliance yourself. I want to say thank you to Lagosians. And like the first lady did say, let it be on a daily basis. So the last Saturday of the month is just to build that culture that will give up 120 minutes in a month. It's not too much to clean our environment and make our state clean and safe.
In Agege, the head of service, Bode Aguru, noted strong voluntary participation, with residents and commercial drivers joining the cleanup to support a culture of hygiene.
It's the very first one, so we need to sensitize people more. Well, I'm very impressed with the turnout so far. The people of Agege, they're supporting us in what we do, and it will get better, definitely. But for the very first day, it's been very good, and the streets are pretty clean, as you can see. Now people can move. It's voluntary. We're not saying people should not move. It's voluntary. But people actually want to clean their environment. That's why they're not going. Even the bus drivers too want to clean their environment. So maybe that's why they're not moving. But we're not restricting people from moving. The advice is that we should continue cleaning our environment. Nobody likes a dirty environment. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Let us clean our environment, so that we don't fall sick, we don't bring infection into the society. They say there's Lassa fever here, this fever there, that fever. It's all because the environment is not clean.
With expectations high for subsequent exercises, residents are encouraged to sustain the momentum by making cleanliness a daily habit beyond the monthly exercise.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
This week in Lagos, your window into the heartbeat of Africa's largest city. And that wraps up this edition of Smart Lagos. Join us again next week as we continue to bring you updates on policies, programs, and initiatives driving growth and improving the quality of life across Africa's model mega city. Thank you for watching. Remember, a smarter Lagos begins with you. Stay safe.